So welcome back to Heidi's Road Kitchen. Today we're going to be making Sunday sauce. And it happens to be Sunday today. So we've got San Marzano canned tomatoes here. These happen to have a little bit of sea salt and basil in them. And then I have a can of tomato paste. We're going to be browning some sausages and to add to the sauce, and browning some pork ribs to also add to the sauce. Right here we've got 85% lean ground beef and some ground pork. And I cut up all the onions and garlic and stuff. This is a whole, large onion, 2 cloves of garlic, some parsley, thyme. I don't have fresh oregano or basil, so we'll use our dried stuff. This is white bread crumbled up with probably like a 1/4 cup of milk in it. These are shallots and garlic. That's going to be for the meatballs. So first thing, we're going to brown our sausage. Put a little bit of olive oil in the pan. On over medium heat. And then I'm going to take, while those are browning, we're going to start the sauce. So adding again a little, probably a couple tablespoons of olive oil in the pan. And then we're going to add the onion and let that saute. The sausages are browning nicely. So these saute just till they're translucent, I don't know, 5-ish minutes. Now that see how that's kind of translucent, a little brown? Now you're gonna add the garlic. And you don't wanna cook the garlic, you just wanna cook it for a minute. Because if it gets brown, it'll get bitter and it'll taste awful. You don't want that. So kind of just stir it around. At this point, we're going to add our canned tomatoes. I'm thinking that 6 cans are going to be enough, but I got a 7th can in the corner just in case. Okay, so now we're going to add the tomato paste in. And I find that this is such an easy way to add the whole can of tomato paste without having to do it with a spoon, is you open up both ends, take that off, and then just push the other one in, and then just take the lid off. All right, so our sausages are nice and brown. So we're going to add them into our pot of sauce, and then to the same pan, yeah, there's enough oil and stuff in there, we're going to brown the pork ribs. These are just bone-on pork ribs. So once the sauce is all cooked and everything, you are going to want to take the bones out and kind of cut the meat up a bit. Because you don't want bones in there, obviously. All right, so we're gonna let those brown. And then to the sauce, we're now gonna add herbs and stuff. So these are Parmesan rinds. They add a lot of flavor, so you're gonna wanna throw those in there. And I also add some Parmesan cheese. Just, I don't know, a good handful-ish in there. And then it does have basil in with the sauce, so I'm still going to add more, but this is oregano. So we're going to add, I don't know, a tablespoon of oregano, and you want to kind of rub it between your hands. That kind of allows the flavors to come out more. And this is the basil, so I won't add too much, handful-ish, half a handful. So that was basil, oregano, and then I've got fresh thyme here, so I'm going to use the fresh thyme. Half of that is going to go in with the meatballs. So, and then the other thing that is, you might find unusual, but it makes a big difference. A lot of people put sugar in with their sauce. I'm not a big fan of that. What I like to do instead is add carrot. So it adds sweetness to the sauce without adding sugar. Yeah. But we're going to start the meatballs. So while this is done. Okay. So while the pork ribs are browning, we are going to start our meatballs. But the sauce, because it's thick, you got to make sure you have it on low or else it's going to stick and burn to the bottom of the pan. So let's see. We're going to add our beef to the bowl and our pork to the bowl. And then we'll add our shallots and garlic. Oh, you know what? I don't think I added parsley to the sauce. So half of that parsley is going in with the sauce, the other half with the meatballs. And then for this, the bread that's been soaking in milk, just milk and all, throw it right in there. And we're gonna add some Parm cheese to this also, kind of to however you like it, to taste, I guess. And then we're gonna do salt and pepper. And we're gonna do some seasoning salt. Sprinkle there. Some oregano. Some basil. And you know what? I'm gonna add some garlic powder, onion powder, and an egg. And then we're gonna add a bit of seasoned breadcrumbs. Just, I don't know, that much? What is that? Quarter cup, half a cup? So, hold on, we're gonna check our pork and turn it. Oh, look at that, they're looking nice. So, turning these babies over here. They're nice and brown on one side. They might need a little more olive oil. Just to fry them up. Okay, I'm gonna let that side. So now we have to brown the meatballs in the pan. I broiled them on high because you want to just get them browned on all sides, and then put them in with the sauce. So mixing this with your hands, you don't want to squish it. You want to like toss it and mix everything together. But if you like really squish it, then the meat gets tough and stuff. So. Nope, not done yet. The easiest way to make meatballs is like with an ice cream scooper. You can get them all the same size. Here. Just the size too. Yeah. All right. Okay, so these are ready to go in the oven to be broiled. So just keep an eye on them. When they're browned, turn them over, let them brown on the other side. And let's look how our pork is browning. This might be good to go. Okay, so then just put these in here as well. And give this a little stir. So you're gonna cook this for, I don't know, probably 3 hours. Just so, like I usually turn it on in the afternoon and let it cook for a few hours. It's great to make a big vat of this because you portion it out, put it in the freezer, and then it's a quick, easy meal. Take it out of the freezer in the morning, then you just heat the sauce and meatballs up and cook spaghetti and dinner's ready. And the other thing about this is that if I make a lot of extra sauce, which I think I'm gonna be adding that 7th can in here, because you can do like pizza. I save the sauce and make it on my pizzas, or you can do like stuffed shells or lasagna or something. So I'm gonna open that 7th can. So this is the 7th can going in just to make a little bit more sauce. Okay, so let's see if they're ready to turn, which they are. See, they're nice and brown on one side. And I find the easiest way to do this is to use 2 forks and flip them. So the San Marzano tomatoes are a really good tomato to use for tomato sauce. They have thinner skin and like a meatier inside, less liquid in them, so they make a thicker sauce, and they're also a sweeter tomato. So that's why it's good to use those. I mean, if you can't find them, you have other canned sauce or canned tomatoes, I'm sure they're fine also. Okay. And those are fairly brown on this side, and they're ready to be added to our sauce. Okay, so we're gonna let these cook for a couple hours, probably 2.5, 3 hours-ish on low, and just come by and stir them every, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes-ish, if you feel like it. And we'll see you back here.